So a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to what is in on the big screen. The avoidance is obviously that blue hedgehog, in my opinion. But if you were after something
Roll
a little
out the
bit,
way.
yeah, roll it out the way, leave your rings behind. But if you want to stay at home, you know, maybe you're chilling this weekend, maybe you're not going out for Valentine's Day or anything like that, and you're thinking, what is good on the small screen? We got something for you.
I got some belters for you this week.
You want to kick us off?
God. Okay. Saturday night, Dave, 9 p.m. This is a movie, Man on Fire.
Man on Fire.
You must love this, surely.
Yeah.
So this was the movie that came out of nowhere and basically kind of invented what I refer to now as the Taken formula, which is just take a dramatic actor who we don't really think of as, who's aged up a bit, we don't really think of as an action guy, and give him a proper nasty R-rated action vehicle. And Denzel started this all off in 2004 with Man on Fire. Also showed us Tony Scott's what would become his final wave of films, his final sense of style. He would wound up applying this to things like Deja Vu, Domino, films like that. And it is John Creasy, bodyguard played by Denzel Washington, becomes bodyguard for a young girl in South America, young girl of an American wife and local regional husband. I think he's in local politics, something like that. When she is abducted, he sets
Finds a
out.
very specific set of skills.
Indeed.
My own baby. She needed me so much. Sometimes I felt like I had nothing to give her. Just, I don't know what to do. What are you gonna do?
What I do best.
Kill them all.
You're going to kill them all.
And it's awesome.
Do you know what? This film came out in 2004. It has the feels of a 1995 movie in a very positive way.
In a good way. I think that's Tony Scott's influence, clearly.
Yeah.
But so that's worth checking out. Meanwhile, one I know you must have loved when you were a kid.
So I do love Father of the Bride.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. I've always wondered, and it, by the way, it's on the Sony channel at 2:20 p.m. on Sunday.
Yeah.
Did it influence of the 90s the Nicole, Papa adverts? Was it Fiat or Renault? Was it Renault?
Oh no, I don't think it was. But that was the
Citroen.
advert. But I don't think
I'm
that
gonna name
was
every car now.
I don't think that was the influence. I
But
forget
didn't
what
it
that
feel
one was.
like that? I always linked the two of them.
Yeah, felt like it did.
But yeah, Steve Martin, absolute classic. This, and I love the sequel as well. You know, Father of the Bride 2, that works really well.
Funny you say that, because straight after Father of the Bride on the Sony channel on Sunday afternoon is Father of the Bride 2.
Oh, you get a double bill. Amazing.
Let's see how it all started.
I'm engaged. I'm engaged. I'm getting married.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, my. Oh, my. And that's your engagement ring, huh?
Yes. We got it at a flea market outside of Rome. The guy we bought it from said it was at least 100 years old.
Wow.
So, Dad, stop it. Say something.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Dad, I met a man in Rome, and he's wonderful and brilliant, and we're getting married.
It's such a heartwarming film. It's funny. It's got everything to it. And again, I can't remember when this was out. I feel like it's
91.
like 92. Oh, yeah, 91.
Yeah.
There we go. It's of that time, but doesn't date.
I still quote this movie every single time.
What do you quote from it?
I quote every time I want to make chili dogs and I'm in a supermarket. I want to buy 8 hot dogs and 8 hot dog buns, but they don't sell 8 hot dog buns. They only sell 12 hot dog buns, and the whole rant. But yeah. So meanwhile, move on to Monday. One of my favourite films of the last decade.
Yes, and one of my favourite books, actually.
Really?
I read this on holiday and I loved it. And it's
Did
gone.
you look menacingly at your husband afterwards? Just out of interest.
No, I was like, can you stop distracting me? I'm still reading. It's Gone Girl, film 4, 9 o'clock. Done really well. You know, actually, there's a couple of twists and turns that aren't in the book, but most Rosamund Pike's finest turn in years.
So just to synopsize for anyone who hasn't read the book or seen the film, this is wife goes missing, husband gets accused of something, we're not quite sure what.
Speaking of which, Amy's blood type.
God, I don't know. I have to look it up at the house.
You don't know if she has friends, you don't know what she does all day, and you don't know your wife's blood type.
Sure y'all are married?
Maybe it's typo.
Where are her folks? New York?
Yeah.
Can they get here in time for this press conference tomorrow?
Tomorrow? I have no idea. I haven't talked to them.
You haven't called your wife's parents
I mean,
yet?
you can't get a signal in this building? I've been in here talking to you.
Well, call them, please, Nick, now.
Fine. Should I know my wife's blood type?
And of course, it's Affleck, which makes everything like 5 times better.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Rosamund Pike's so good.
She's so good in it. And do you know what I find really interesting is if anyone's on Netflix is watching The Stranger at the moment.
Oh, I keep hearing about it.
Yeah, there's very good sort of similarities in that as well. So look, if you like that kind of thing, Gone Girl is a brilliant kind of take on that kind of on a fantastic book actually.
Proper
so,
90s style R-rated thriller, I think.
Yeah.
And for the adults thriller. So, Tuesday, what you got for me?
Oh,
I thought you'd like
you
this.
can't fight the moonlight.
Can't fight the moonlight, baby.
Coyote Ugly, ITV2, 8 o'clock. Piper Parabo?
I always called her Parabo, but I'm never sure how it's pronounced.
Yeah, so her and Adam
Garcia.
Who
did a terrific cover of Night Fever in the late 90s when he was on the West End production of Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
Just
So
FYI, not that I know.
This movie of a songwriter, not a singer, a songwriter who moves to Brooklyn or wherever she is in New York to work. Well, she ends up working in a bar, but she really wants her music to be found. I mean, it's every girl's dream.
Kevin, what is your problem? Look, I'm sorry about tonight, but look at this. There was no way Lil was gonna let me out.
This is not about Lil. This is about you and this place.
This is my job.
It's a goddamn sandbox for you to stick your head in.
What is that supposed to mean?
The place is a joke. All right? They don't come to watch you sing. They come to watch girls shaking it on a bar.
And what would you have me do? Sing for quarters in the park?
Well, at least you'd be singing your own songs.
I told you I can't do that, so stop pushing.
I'm just asking you to try. But I guess that's asking a bit too much.
This is something I lived my life by.
Is it?
I loved this movie.
Are you all
I grew
about
up
the big belts and the sparkly vests?
Yeah, I mean, it sort of influenced my university outfits, I think.
Well, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm trolling Bex' Facebook profile later.
Hilarious. No, the thing I loved about this is that it captured a generation, which I think, we didn't have as many of these kind of movies out at the time.
We didn't. It's came during a lull, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. And although not a well-known cast, it still worked in a lot of ways. So, it spawned clubs and bars that people would dance on the top, saying "Hell no, H2O" and all that kind of stuff. It just works. So definitely check it out.
So on to Wednesday, one of my personal favourite movies. I don't think it's like one of the greatest movies ever, but one of my favourite movies. The Butterfly Effect is on Sony at 9 p.m.
I can't remember if I've seen this.
This is Ashton Kutcher has gaps in his memory and blackouts that quickly are revealed to be effectively a sort of twisted form of time travel and timeline manipulation. It's messed up. It has about 4 different cuts out in the world, and I'm not sure which version of this they're playing on the Sony channel. I could hazard a guess. I don't think it's the one that ends with "Stop Crying Your Heart Out" by Oasis, which is my favourite version. But it's Ashton Kutcher, and Ashton Kutcher at his finest, and this is the reason I have given him a free pass for 20 years.
When he was your age, almost exactly your age, come to think of it, he said he figured out a way to remember his past. I couldn't tell if they were real memories or just his imagination. Then, just before it got so bad, he had to be institutionalized. He said he could...
What? What did he do?
Forget it. It's nothing. He was far too sick by then.
Because otherwise, Ashton Kutcher is terrible, but this movie rocks. Let's go to Thursday, where we've got something I know you gotta love.
That's a very bad Roy Orbison from me. Pretty Woman, Sony Channel, a classic, 9 o'clock. Julia Roberts in her absolute breakout role, and then obviously Richard Gere as well, being the dashing man that he is. This is a rags to riches story. This is something that works really well, teaches you a lot of life lessons.
This is the movie we literally got the phrase "hooker with a heart of gold" from.
Yes, I don't know how often you use that phrase.
It comes up in reviews and things fairly often, I would say.
Okay, fine. Yeah, not in your everyday occurrence, though.
We have very different lives, perfect.
We do indeed. No, I don't need to say a lot about this. It's an absolute classic. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? If you have seen it, watch it again. It's brilliant.
And I've got the greatest moment of the entire movie for you.
May I help you? No, thank you. Hi. Hello. Do you remember me? No, I'm sorry. I was in here yesterday. You wouldn't wait on me? Oh. You work on commission, right? Yes. Big mistake. Big. Huge. I have to go shopping now.
Big mistake.
Huge.
Yeah.
So, one to end the week with. Let's go Villeneuve.
It's a thinker, yeah. Arrival, film 4, 9 o'clock. What happens if a big giant spacecraft appears in a field? You try and talk to it.
Isn't it? Is there what? Because there multiple ones. I haven't seen the movie in a few years.
Yeah,
is it that
I think,
one
it appears around the world. So what do? You send Amy Adams in, of course. Linguist.
Yeah. She's indeed, let's just say, a clever linguist.
Yes.
And the whole...
Speaks alien.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? She has to learn to speak alien. And there's some brilliant visuals in this. This is Roger Deakins on visuals, isn't it, for Arrival?
Oscar winner, Roger Deakins.
Two-time
Oscar winner.
And, well, I'll tell you what, let's prominently display some Oscar winners like Forrest Whitaker and Amy Adams.
Everything you're doing there, I have to explain to a room full of men whose first and last question is how can this be used against us?
Kangaroo.
What is that?
In 1770, Captain James Cook's ship ran aground off the coast of Australia, and he led a party into the country, and they met the Aboriginal people. One of the sailors pointed at the animals that hop around and put their babies in their pouch, and he asked what they were, and the Aborigines said, kangaroo. It wasn't until later that they learned that kangaroo means I don't understand.
I can sell that for now.
Fair.
And remember what happened to the Aborigines? A more advanced race nearly wiped them out.
That story, by the way, about the kangaroo is not actually true.
Okay.
After the clip, she does say it's not. Yeah.
Thanks for acknowledging that. No, it's a great film. And actually, it takes a different spin on the idea of aliens. So if you haven't seen it, we're expecting a new Villeneuve film, aren't we?
Dune. Well, part 1 of 2.
Part 1 of 2. So I think, he's a very accomplished director. You definitely want to go and check that out.
So that's 9 o'clock, film 4 on Friday night. What a way to end the week. What a belter.
What a
of
good
film.
week for... I'd almost just stay in.